everybody. Dave Weiss here with the Glue Bomb Show. Well, my confession for you today is building is going a little slow right now. I am building. I'm working on things, but I'm only getting a few pieces done at a time. I'm working on this Henry J kit, and I'm really trying to take my time and do a good job with it. And so I'm really working kind of painstakingly, slowly, and hopefully that'll show up in the final build. But in the meantime, there was something I wanted to share. I like this idea of building community, right? It's something that I do in my job, in my ministry, and all that other stuff. And it's something I think we could do in the model building community as well. So I call this building community in the building community, because here's what I've found. Model building, for the most part, is a pretty solitary kind of thing. We tend to hole up in our basements or wherever our model room is, and we work by ourselves. And you know, there's a time when it would be really good to connect with other builders. I'll give you a prime example of this. Happened kind of by accident just the other day. I got new glasses, right? So I was having to go pick up my glasses. Well, it turned out that my optometrist office doesn't open at 9 o'clock like I thought it did. It opens at 10 o'clock. And so I ended up with this hour to kill. I knew I was in need of some semi-gloss black for this Henry J kit that I'm working on. I thought, I'll swing by Michael's. It's right near my optometrist. They don't have a lot of paint anymore, but maybe they'll have it. So I get there, and there's one other guy in the modeling aisle, and he was looking at paint, and that's where I needed to be, so I was just kind of hanging out looking at the kits. And I got to admit, I probably should have been a little more sociable and just started talking, because I do that sometimes and I meet some really cool people that way. Well, as it turns out, there was actually a blessing in the fact that those Testors model paint jars, that the jars are so small and the print is so tiny. My person that was standing next to me couldn't read what color the paint was, and so he asked me. Well, I'll be honest, I had a hard time. Remember, I didn't have the new glasses yet, but I couldn't really read it either for a moment, and then I kind of took it and kind of went in and out, did one of these things, right? And I finally figured out what it said. Well, that launched about a 10 to 15 minute conversation about models, where we shared about the stuff that we're working on, and we talked about all the other stuff that we were doing, and he was talking about a shop that went out of business years ago in our hometown. And I said, I said, those folks opened up another shop. Well, he didn't know that. And so I was able to give him a tip on that shop and another shop, and he gave me a couple tips about things that I'm working on. And it was this really nice conversation. And I thought, I really need to get involved with a club somewhere. Maybe I'll start my own club. I'm not sure yet. But somewhere along the line, I need to get involved with other builders. I need to learn from other builders. And of course, one of the great ways to do that is to listen to some of these great podcasts that are coming up. There's a lot now. There's Scale Model, the Scale Model podcast. There's Plastic Model Mojo. There's the Plastic Posse podcast. There's the Model Geeks. And I'm sure there are more, and they even have a website that tells you where all these podcasts are. And it's funny because they all seem to broadcast about every 2 weeks, and they seem to sort of interact with each other so they don't release on the same weeks, and their podcasts are usually pretty long, so there's an opportunity to check out a bunch of them. And I have to admit, even that is helping a little bit. But I think it would be really nice if we would start to build some online communities, and even better, some actual in-person communities where we can sit down and have group builds and all these other things. I know that I need that. If I'm going to continue to improve, it's one of the things that I need to do. And I've been talking to a couple other folks that actually have their own groups and trying to figure some things out. But in the meantime, I think building community would be fantastic. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, and I'm just thinking of this even as I speak, I'm going to just simply ask that you comment on this video if you would like to be part of an online virtual community. And maybe we'll start something where we have a Zoom meeting every so often and we just talk about our builds and that kind of thing. Since odds are, I know some of you guys are local, but a lot of you guys are from all over the place. But maybe we could have like a little virtual get together from time to time where we could give each other tips and tricks and just talk about kits and maybe just even talk about life while we work on what we want to do. So I'm game for it. I'm wondering if you guys are too. So if you are, comment on this post and we'll see what we can do. All right, guys, take care. Remember, model building is supposed to be fun. And I have a feeling it's even more fun when you're building with other people. So take care. God bless. Bye-bye.